Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, this part I'm doing with my phone, so I do apologize for like I said at the beginning, the topics on my mind. And if you're watching this as a whole, I do apologize for the difference in sound and in picture while I also check something right here. Okay, just making sure. Sorry for moving the camera, but there we go. But yeah, I want to come on here and kind of give my thoughts once again on something that I talked about during my lunch hour, basically back on the 18th of this month, basically 7 days ago, about a week ago. I talked about this. Um, and it's basically due to the fact that Universal, believe it or not, will be releasing a lot of their movies, mostly Trolls World Tour, which is Trolls 2, the success to the 2016-2017 film. And yeah, I went on and I asked, I super chatted a question to John Campa during the John Campa show this past week. And I asked him what his thoughts were on it. And I basically had to correct myself because I had to do like two separate ones. The second one I had to correct myself on because he didn't know what I was talking about with the first one. But the second one, I told him, with the second one, I said, I apologize for not, sounding correct in what I was saying, but I basically told John, I basically asked him, do you see this being a new trend? And he said no. What's going on right now, which is true, this whole situation we're in is not something that you could just, utilize as creating a new trend for something because what's going on right now with Universal doing what they're doing with Trolls 2 and a few of their other movies upcoming is not something that any movie studio should be doing, especially if it's violating or going against the partnership that you have with the people at NATO. And again, as he put it, it's not the same kind of NATO that you think of military-wise and all that, but basically the NATO associated with movie theaters and owners and stuff like that. And mostly theaters, the people in charge, the head person in charge there, they're not too thrilled, they're not too happy with Universal and what they're doing, and basically have vowed that they will not forget Universal turning their back on them or going against them or rebelling against them and doing something that they shouldn't be doing. Because what they're saying is Universal is basically coming out and saying, hey, Trolls World Tour, aka Trolls 2, yeah, we're going to release that not just in theaters, but simultaneously on home video. And here's the thing. Yeah, here's the thing. They all right in one area. Universal is lying, but partially. You see, what I mean by partially is the fact that Universal didn't know, like any movie studio didn't know that theaters were going to have to close down for 6 to 12 weeks. They didn't know that. They didn't know that when they made that decision. They probably made the mistake of not letting anybody know ahead of time of what they were going to do. Ooh, instead of like a half hour beforehand, but still, Universal, along with any other major movie studio out there, didn't know theaters were going to close up for as long as they are. And yet, here we are. And I heard what John Campus said said in response to my question and a few others. In his opinion, he doesn't look at Trolls 2, Trolls World Tour, if you will, as being a profitable gain for Universal. That he basically feels like a lot of people have commented about this through various comments on the video on his video talking about this, as well as elsewhere, that Universal's probably looking at Trolls 2 and being like, yeah, this is more for a video kind of direct release than anything else. And I don't think, and honestly, I can't say that's true or not, but if you're putting so much investment and promotion into this, that, you're just doing it for you're just doing it to now you're just going to treat it like something you meant to go to direct to video. I don't think that's the case. I think honestly, Trolls 2 was meant to be the success it was Universal was hoping it would be theatrically. But unfortunately now that's not going to happen. And the one thing that's pointed out is the reason the movie is the reason this organization, the NATO, if you will, of movie theaters owners and stuff are okay with other movies getting a similar treatment is because they at least had time. Even if it was a week, they at least had a week's run in theaters. At least they abided by what was necessary. You know, everybody points out that what Warner Brothers and Disney are doing is something that Universal should be doing, but yet, you have rumors going around that Disney may consider putting Black Widow on Disney Plus, and going that route as well because they don't know when they're going to be able to get it out. There's stuff like that going around. Heck, even people pointing out that Warner Brothers, even though they've pretty much come out and said that Wonder Woman 84 is going to be in August now, that all the other movies they have yet to give a date to, like Scoob, they might go the direction of Universal, but maybe they're going to wait till June or July for that. The point that I'm getting at is, here's my opinion on it. The point that I want to get at is this. Was Universal wrong? Was Universal Studios wrong in not letting NATO, the people in charge of all the movie theaters, the National Association of Theater Owners, were they wrong in not letting them know at the appropriate time, like letting them know ahead of time of, hey, we probably are going to plan to do this, and we know it probably violates our partnership, but we want to get this out for everybody when we can. Should they have let NATO know? Yeah, they should have let them know. I'll give them that. They should have at least gave them more of an advanced acknowledgement of what they were going to probably do. Instead of this, in the span of 30 minutes. Just instead of just a span of 30 minutes, they should have at least let the people know what they were planning to do. And here's the other question: is it going to hurt Universal's partnership with the movie theaters with NATO? No, I don't think it will. I think if anything, ladies and gentlemen, I think the theaters, the National Association of Theater Owners, I think honestly, they're gonna want to bounce back from this whole situation right now that we're currently in so desperately that they will be willing, in my opinion, to forgive Universal. Like the president in charge of NATO, the National Association of Theater Owners, he may say they won't forget it, but guess what? They won't forget, but they will forgive. They'll be like, okay, Universal, here's a slap on the wrist. Don't ever do something like this again. That's what they'll do. It's like they won't forget it, but they'll give Universal a slap on the wrist. And that's it. And maybe even a fine. Who knows? But that's what I see, because they're going to want enough movies in there to bounce back economically themselves. Not just do a stimulus bill and all that, but they'll want something more. And if it's willing to forgive Universal, slap them on the wrist, give them the wave of the finger and say, don't ever do this again, don't be a bad boy anymore, they'll do it. They will do it. So, again, do I agree that Universal should have done it correctly, should have approached the situation more respectfully or more appropriately? Yeah. But I think whoever made the decision is looking at it like this. There's a lot of people that are going to have their kids out now because of what's going on. And whether the kids, like let's say with Elk Grove, outside of Sacramento, is doing right now, which is, or planning to do, and that's have the kids go back to school online. Unless, school plans to school districts plan to do that, Universal's looking at the fact that, hey, these parents are going to have their kids home. We might as well just give them something in return to keep their kids busy and out of the parents' hair. That's basically why Trolls World Tour is being released the way it is. It's being released to keep kids out of the parents' hair, where the parents take care of stuff like clean the house, make phone calls, go online, make phone calls or go online to pay bills, rent, whatever. It'll keep them busy and out of the parents' hair. So that's why Universal's probably doing it as well. They realize, hey, we got to put ourselves in the parents' shoes. And I guarantee you the person that made the call for this to happen on Universal's behalf is a parent themselves. And they probably realize what's going to happen. So that's just my thought on it, guys. I think honestly, in the end, the National Association of Theater Owners, NATO, they're gonna just not forgive, but they're gonna do the slap on the wrist, wave the finger thing at Universal for what they did, because they're gonna want movies in the theaters. That's what I think. So, but let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below. Oh, and thank you for watching.